Peace and power, family. Welcome back to Unto with B, where we are talking about my journey on the artist way, baby. It is week 8. I can't believe it, but I'm so excited to be here. And this week is so good because it's talking about time, okay? And how what we do with our time adds to how we reach our creative dreams. Like the first thing she talked about in the chapter was about sharing your losses so that you can mourn them and move on. And this really hits because a lot of times we hold on to those creative losses and loss in general, really, instead of mourning it, trying to fight back that negative feeling so that we don't actually have to feel the bad feelings, right? But what she's saying is if you just go ahead and tell somebody about it, let it go, talk to a friend about it, just let the world know that it happened, then you actually can mourn it. You can feel all your feelings and then move on to something else, to something better, to something greater. Because again, rejection is just redirection. So the sooner you go through that process of feeling rejected and moving on, the sooner you will be at the redirection that you want to reach, right? So it is so good because I am somebody who spends a lot of time thinking about what I could have done differently. And I think that is where that time wasting is in my creative process. When I'm like, I create something, I share something, I get a certain response, and I'm just like, damn, I could have did this. Or what if I did it like this? Or what if, this wasn't happening at the same time? And when it's like, babe, it happened, move on. Create something else. You know what I'm saying? Or promote it, reshare it, redo the things, right? I think a lot of times I get caught up in my mind, in my head, and the thought and thinking about the process and not like actually doing the activity. So I'm excited about, shifting that, changing that. Okay. Because I'm a big feeler and I can just be lost in the feeling of it all when I need to be lost in the process of doing the thing, the action. Okay. So the next thing they talked about was academics combating creativity. And this was really, really, really hitting for me because I've been writing since the 3rd grade, baby. I've been in this writing game for a very long time. And I remember like in 5th grade, Miss Graham, EK Poet Elementary, writing my first story about Alicia Keys and Usher and they 3 kids who was homeless, winning something like American Idol, you know what I'm saying, and going off and having an amazing career. And her taking my almost 250 front and back pages and throwing it in the trash. I can remember that. Like I have a visceral remembering of that. And I'm just like, that was the first time where I was just like, oh, I can't be smart and, all the things and do this writing thing. You know what I'm saying? I have to prioritize the academics. And this also showed up again when I was leaving Howard. One of my mentors there, Dr. Muhammad, was like, you need to join TFA and then write a book about how terrible it is. And I still ain't wrote that book, but I did join TFA and I did see the truth behind the curtain. And I'm like, this idea was such a, catalyst to me moving in the way and just how my life has moved throughout these years. And I haven't honored that gift, that seed that she gave me by like seeing it through to fruition. So I really, and even thinking about that, like after I taught, I went to law school. You know what I'm saying? And law is a completely different kind of writing than creative writing. It's even different than like the writing I was doing for my political science degree, which is crazy. But it's so different. And it really did pull me out of wanting to write poetry, wanting to work on my novels, wanting to do anything creative, because I had to get my mind right to be writing in the legal format and writing in this very, very specific, accurate as hell way. No dreaming, imagination, like, It tore me up inside. It really did. And my first book of poetry, Sometimes I Cry, was actually the collection of poems from 2017 to 2020, right? Like it wasn't even a lot of the work that I had created since I came into law school. It was before I came into law school. I took some of those poems and put them in that collection because while I was in law school, it was like pulling teeth. It was like jacking myself up, and like I really had to get to a low place, like a place where I literally couldn't do anything but write in order to write while I was in law school, and that just did not feel good. So I absolutely was resonating when she was talking about how academics kills creativity, and it combats it because academia is about taking things apart, deconstructing and understanding and analyzing, and creating is about putting shit together, mixing it up, making, imagining things and pulling shit out your ass. Like it really is about going against the grain and not having to follow a particular standard or particular process. It's really about creating your own process and honoring yourself and what you do. So that fight, that academic versus creativity fight, has been such a huge fight in my life. Even now, I'm like, I want to do something creative for the next year and a half. But I'm also like, it's coming up on my time to take the bar. Like 5 years out of law school, after that, I don't really think I'm gonna be even wanting to do it. So I told myself that before 5 years, I would take it, and next year will be the 5th year. So like that fight between academics and creativity is constantly going on in my life, and I'm just I don't know. It just felt good to hear Julia Cameron talk about that as a real thing that creatives go through. Like it's not something that's just happening to me. This is a real thing that is happening for creatives everywhere. And I just appreciate knowing that I'm not alone in this fight. The next thing she talked about was mourning the wounding and making peace with the lost years, and I think that also relates to the academic part, right? Because we spend so much time in school, and not doing the creative thing, or even working, going into a corporate job and not doing the creative thing, right? And we are mad at ourselves and we're hard on ourselves because we spent so much time not doing the thing. When in reality, it's like more. Baby, just feel the feeling more and move on. Now you have the time. You can choose today, right? To actually lean into your creative practices. You don't have to keep on harping on the fact that so many years went by where you actually weren't creating and doing the thing that you want to do. And I think that really hit me when I was graduating law school, and even coming out of this stint of community organizing. I was just like, I was not pouring into my creativity the way that I wanted to. And I'm just like, fuck, all this lost time. Even now, I'm about to leave Miami. I'm just like, all this time in Miami, I didn't really take advantage of the resources. And it's like, babe, it's okay. You about to go somewhere else, and you better take advantage of those resources, right? Learn from those instances, learn from those lost years, and do better in the future. Like, we really cannot waste time on harping on the things that have already happened and harping on the past. We have to stay in the present and don't worry about, but like plan for the future. Right. So I really appreciate her naming that. And that really stuck out to me. And she was like, the way that you do this is one day at a time, building strength, right? And learning how to survive those injuries. Let me tell y'all, I have gotten 25 rejections for fellowship programs because I'm trying to get somebody to pay me to write, okay? And like not like come to your office every day and write something for you that I really don't care about, but like pay me to write the things that I want to write, right? And I have gotten 25 rejections, and it really is a practice of honoring yourself and like knowing your worth every single time you get a letter that's like, unfortunately, baby, not you. Okay. Not you. And I love this, the idea that I came up with that's kind of like keeping me in this mindset of like, I can survive this. I will eventually get what I want. Is that they said that Walt Disney shipped Mickey Mouse, or like pitched Mickey Mouse 100 times or 99 times before he got his first yes, right? And I'm like, well, if goddamn Mickey got 99 no's, then I can do 100 no's before I'm like, actually, this is something that I don't need to be wasting my time on, right? So 25 is getting up there. I'm putting in the work. I'm still showing up. I'm going to start reapplying this week because I did take a break because it is heavy and you do have to survive it. You know what I'm saying? So instead of forcing myself to get over it, move on, and keep doing the things, I'm like, let me stop, let me reflect, let me refine what I'm doing, and then I can go back in and try 25 more, and then we'll see where we go from there, right? And I've had some wins within that, right? So out of the 25 no's, I've got 2 yeses, and they have been beautiful, not paid, but beautiful experiences that will absolutely advance me creatively, but because I like sustainability and I like security, right? And I don't want to go and work in a job that doesn't fulfill me or work in a job that burns me out and not honor the creative juices and energies that are flowing through me right now. And I have a want to be creative. So I'm excited about this. This next part is about framing. It was gain as loss, right? And it was like it's all about the frame. And I think this is so good because I have been working personally on my reframe game, okay? Because we are conditioned to have a negative thought spiral, right? We are conditioned to be moving through life thinking in the negative, pointing out all of the bad things, the things we didn't do. And even when we think about the past, we easily remember the bad things versus remembering the good things that happened, right? So we are constantly conditioned to be in this negative headspace, and reframing everything that you're experiencing to be a positive. It doesn't mean you have to feel good all the time and do that fake positivity, but like reframing what is happening to you as a gain instead of a loss actually does wonders for your self-esteem, for your mental health, for your well-being, all of it, and for your creative practice, because you're like, oh, I fucked up. No, I didn't fuck up. I got information. I know better now, and I can go back and try again and do better this time, right? So it's so important to be in the practice of reframing and thinking about how you think about things so that you can shift those thoughts if you need to. It says, how can this loss serve me? And what next instead of why me? So instead of harping on, oh my God, why did this happen to me? Being like, okay, what can I do next after this to make my dream come true? Like, okay, that won't it. What next? What is next? And that is how they actually ended the chapter with what is, oh, no. See, I was about to goddamn skip some shit. The next thing they talked about is another excuse that we use is the age and time, right? That like, oh, once I get older, I'll do this, or I don't have the time right now because of work and because of kids and because of all of this, right? Or it's like, I'm too young or I'm too old to be doing these kind of things. And it's like, we really are making up excuses around why we can't do the thing, right? Age is never a problem. Do y'all know that the old lady in Wakanda, she was like 89 and that was like her first acting job? Like, come on. Like, you literally can live your dream at any moment in your life, and you actually don't have to wait till then. I am 30 years old and I am committed, okay, to my creativity and to using my creativity for liberation. Like, it's going to be a part of the community organizing work that I do, and I'm gonna figure out how to make that happen. It cannot be just something that's off on the side, right? It cannot just be something that I do as a hobby, right? So it doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter like what else you got going on in life. If this is something that is important to you, then you can do it, and you have to do it. She said, one small step at a time instead of taking giant leaps. Do the next right thing. Do the thing that's going to move the ball one action a day, and just focus on that. You don't have to focus on, oh, I gotta go do an acting audition, if you're trying to be an actor and you ain't did no improv classes and you ain't read no books on the scene and you ain't did no research on what's popping right now and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are little bitty steps that we can take to get towards our creative goals. And I'm really, really excited about honoring this part because I've been doing it in my own daily life, right? Because I've been in a place for the last 6 months of prioritizing my personal wellness. So in my own life, I have absolutely mastered the one small thing a day. Okay, that is getting me closer and closer to personal wellness. I be doing a couple of things, 4 and 5 things a day. Okay. But one of those things is honoring my creativity, right? Which is why I have this practice, which is why I do this blog, which is why I'm even trying the artist way, right? It's because I want to honor my creativity however I can. Maybe I can't write 3 pages in my novel. Maybe I can't write a poem today that really honors what I want this specific collection to be about, but I can talk to y'all about my experience on the artist way, right? I can show up for my artists and share my struggles, share my losses, share my journey so that I can actually continue to move closer to my dream. So that's how they ended. That's how she ended it, was like literally filling the form, doing the small steps in the right order, and taking one action daily towards your creative dreams, y'all. So I think we can do it. I'm doing it. If I can do it, you can do it. I am, because we are merely reflections of each other. So good luck out there. If you ain't started the Artist Way journey, this is my motherfucking endorsement. Do it. Love y'all.